Halloween is by far my favourite time of the year. The one wonderful day where walking around with a mask on is socially acceptable. Masks hold quite a unique place in society. A mask can transform anyone into something else, turn an actor into a character, hide the secret identity of a superhero, or even allow monsters to walk among men. You never know what's behind a mask until it's taken off, but that's the best part of Halloween. No one is going to take off anyone's mask. There is no gang of teenagers with their talking dog there to strip away my disguise and reveal the truth underneath. No, this is reality, and on Halloween, I'm perfectly able to hide in plain sight. Of course, wearing a mask has its own special meaning for me. I am not an actor, superhero, or even a monster. Not in the fictional terms, at least. No. I simply use a mask as means of entry. Any mask works really, so long as it covers my face. I manage to use a different one every year. All I need to do is walk the streets of my suburban neighbourhood, weave my way through various decorations, and dodge packs of trick-or-treaters until I hear the familiar blaring of loud music. Like a sailor to a siren at sea, I'm drawn to the music, to the party that emanates from. Yes, this is why Halloween is wonderful. No one seems to ask questions at the door to a Halloween party. All I need to do is knock and wave when the door opens. The mask makes people just assume I'm there for the party. Hell, sometimes people just leave their front doors wide open, allowing even easier access to their home. On Halloween, no one gives a second glance towards a masked man making his way through their mist, which is what makes my hobby, oh, so fun. They are completely oblivious as I approach their food. They continue to chatter and gossip as I add my own special ingredient to their bowl of punch. They continue to dance and play as I stab small, sharp needles into their chocolates and sweets. It is not until their first friend drops to the floor, either choking on my poison or coughing up bloody needles, that people start to panic. It is the same every year. As soon as I leave the party and hear the chaos rising behind me, an unstoppable grin forms under my mask. Screams of terror are such a pleasant noise for such a pleasant holiday. My friends and I decided to go trick-or-treating this year. We were teenagers that wanted some candy and to teepee houses. We lived in a massive neighbourhood, so there was a lot to go around. After 2 hours of going around the streets, egging and teepeeing houses, and a very lucky escape from the police, we were ready to end the night. We all stopped at a dark street. "Should we go?" one of my friends asked. Okay. One more street," another friend replied. I stared down the dark street, unable to see the end. There was something odd about this street, like it didn't belong. The houses were completely different from the ones in the neighbourhood. The houses looked abandoned, and there were no lights either in the street or the houses. I got a bad feeling about this, guys," I said. "Don't be a pussy, David. We're just gonna egg some houses and leave. If they do call the cops again, we'll sneak out of here. This place is freaking pitch black," my friend replied. We walked down the coal black street, joking around and telling ghost stories, as I just couldn't help feeling watched. Houses looked very different, and didn't look stable. I knew something was up. I just knew it. The light from the other street began to become dimmer and dimmer. Okay, here. We took a bag full of eggs and toilet paper. We were cursing and having fun. I almost forgot to be worried. A loud noise echoed in the street. What was that? I asked. Everybody, hide, now! My friend yelled. I saw all my friends scramble around the block. I hid behind a rusty trash can, looking over the edge. I couldn't see anything because it was so dark. I only could see a blue outline of the houses. I took out my phone for some light. No signal at all on my cell phone. Didn't they build over a dozen cell phone towers all over the area? I shine my light towards the street. This time, it was even louder. I pulled back and looked over again. All of my friends were there, standing in the middle of the street. So, what do you think that was? I questioned, walking towards them. They didn't respond. Hello?
There's something about your soul I cannot take, but I'll find a way.
They all said at the same time. What the They all charged towards me. I ran and ran. The darkness seemed to continue on forever. I didn't hear them chasing after me, but I didn't stop. I kept looking for a source of light, or just anybody. I slammed my face into a wall. I got up to see a giant skyscraper outlined in blue and plenty full of them. It was a city without light. I stood there, completely shocked. A lot of questions flew into my mind. What just happened? Where am I? Can I get back? These questions flooded my mind. A loud growl roared behind me. I turned around to see wolf-like creatures blended in the darkness. Oh shit, I whispered to myself. I stood there, looking straight at the creature. I regret my decision after that. I ran as fast as I could, hearing the creature's paws hitting the concrete. I stopped at an alley. I think I'm okay, I said to myself.
You are far from okay.
A familiar voice. I turned around to see an army of people standing. I tried to run, but another group blocked the other side of the alley. A tall man stood in front. He was dressed in black and was wearing a hoodie that blocked his face. What do you want from me? I yelled.
I want your soul. Like I did with all your little friends here. I used this realm to capture as many souls as I want.
You bastard! I yelled back.
You are different. Your soul is special and very hard to get. And what makes it harder, that you are protected. But no soul is strong enough to keep me out. Get ready to become my puppet.
Then they closed in on me. I felt like this was the end, and that I was going to be made his puppet, and I couldn't do anything about it. A stereotypical light shone down on me.
Not him again,
the tall man said. I woke up in my bed with my bag of candy and leftover eggs from last night. I looked at my digital watch and it read 7 a.m. November the 1st, 2011. I laid there for a while and wondered if it was all a dream. Whatever happened, I'm safe now. I got up to get ready for school and saw a sticky note on my door saying, "I haven't forgotten about you yet." It's hard to believe a year has passed since the incident. I laid there on my bed, trying to rid the memories of that unfortunate night. But no matter how hard I try, I can't repress the events of that night. Halloween again, I said quietly to myself. I got up from my bed and headed towards the kitchen. Today, I wasn't going to school due to the special circumstances. I ate my breakfast and made no conversation with my family. My family just glared at me the whole time. "So, today is a nice day. Perfect weather," my mum said. I just looked at her and left the kitchen. I went back to my room and sat there at my desk, staring at the clock. Silence. I miss my friends and not a day goes by that I haven't thought about them. The police never found a trace of them after that night, and obviously they didn't believe a single word I said. Typical cops, I thought in my head. I kept the sticky note I received after that night in a box in my closet. Should I? I questioned myself. I went to my closet, grabbed the box and placed it on my desk. Alright, it's time, I said to myself. I opened the box to find the sticky note was no longer there. No, this can't be right. I started to panic. I searched my room from top to bottom to find the note, but no luck. Running out of options, I stormed out of my room and went back to the kitchen. "Where is the note?" I demanded. What note?" my mum replied. "The note that was in the fucking box!" I yelled with rage. "We don't know what you're talking about. We don't know about any note," my sister said. "Lies!" I yelled back. "Calm down, David," my older brother said. "God damn it!" I yelled in frustration. I stormed out the living room and headed into the garage. I grabbed my bike and set off into the street. I don't know what I accomplished doing this, but I needed to leave. I pedalled my way down the streets and through the traffic until I reached the cemetery. I left my bike on the grass and walked down the numerous rows of graves. I reached my friends' graves. "Who did this?" I whispered. I stood there in silence and dread, remembering all the good times of my fallen friends. A tear rolled down my cheek. It's scary how life can take the things, people you love from you, in the matter of seconds. My friends aren't dead. They are trapped by that monster. I spent a whole year living in fear. I'd done everything I can to keep him away. Rituals, sacrifices, spells, everything. I hope this is over and I could live on with my life. I was about to leave until I noticed something on one of the gravestones. was a sticky note. I leaned down and took the note, and it said, "I haven't forgotten about you." I froze. How did the sticky note get there? Unless... I dropped the note and began sprinting towards my bike. Before I reached my bike, a black, tall figure appeared in front of me.
"What's the hurry? We're just getting started,"
he said. Everything faded to black. I woke up, tied to a chair in a large concrete chamber with only a light from the ceiling and a metal door. The metal door opened and the hooded man walked in.
"Told you, I haven't forgotten about you,"
the hooded man remarked. I felt too weak to talk. All my energy has been sucked out of me. I just glared at him.
"Your protection is gone. I'm going to have fun with you tonight. Let's begin, shall we?"
he said. He brought in a cart filled with various torture devices. He took out a sharp knife and jammed it into my chest cavity. I yelled at the top of my lungs as the blood gushed out my body.
"Shut up,"
he said aggressively as he grabbed my tongue and cut it off with a knife. I felt the blood gushing out of my mouth. I tried to get away until he ripped open my torso and violently stabbed my organs.
"Do you know how much trouble you've caused me? How a simple human escaped from my grasp?"
He raged as he began tearing apart my organs. He grabbed my intestines and started choking me with it. I gasped for air. Everything started to fade out. He let go of me and walked to the cart. He grabbed a dull hacksaw from the cart and began cutting off my limbs. I felt the hacksaw rip through my muscle. The pain was nothing I have ever felt before. Kept yelling and resisting. Hopefully someone or something will save me, but I guess my luck has run out. The hooded man grabbed my arm and tore it out of my body. I can't take it anymore. I shut my eyes. I woke up back on the chair. My body was restored to normal. I heard a laugh from the dark corner.
"We are just getting started,"
The hooded man smirked. The metal door opened and I saw my family walk in the room. They had no expression on their faces. "No," I said in disbelief. "This can't be."
"You should have seen the look in their eyes,"
he laughed. My family. Gone. My worst fears became a reality. Every nightmare, fear and doubt. The past year, I lived in mortal terror for my life and my family. Wondering when he'll strike. Ended up happening anyway. My fate was doomed from the start. He tortured me for hours on end, not sparing any tool or method. I could do nothing but sit there. After a couple of hours, he stopped and said,
"Now, it's time for you to become my puppet, you pest."
He stuck his whole hand into my chest. I felt the very being of me being torn out of me. My very soul tearing into shreds. No, I'm not giving up. I began fighting back with all my might. He's not taking me.
"What? No, this can't be. It's impossible,"
he said in shock as I tore his soul out of his body. I control him now. I felt the power of thousands of souls coursing through my veins. I could now liberate all the souls of the innocent people that fallen victim to the hooded man, or become stronger. It is Halloween night, and I made my decision. Time to collect souls.